What's going on, guys? Billy here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 4th generation Apple TV. Now, I already have one of these in my room, but in my living room I have a 3rd generation Apple TV, so I bought another one to upgrade that as it started to get a little slow and I was getting tired of the older remote. So I went ahead, got one of these, and I figured I'd do a little unboxing for you guys and show you guys how to set it up. Now, the version that I have is the 64GB model. It also comes in 32GB, but I figured I'd go with the biggest one just because it is going to be holding a lot of apps, games, and movies as well. The benefit of going with 64GB is that I won't need to delete things down the road. I'll be able to store everything on my Apple TV. This is a thing that a lot of iPhone users are going through as they get 16GB or 8GB models, and they're not able to upgrade to the new operating system or keep their music or photos on their phone. The box we get is pretty typical coming from Apple. It's very minimalistic, and this time it's in a black version. Usually their boxes are white, so this does throw me off a little bit, and it is kind of tough to pop off, but once you finally do, as you see, the Apple TV and its remote are revealed. Taking a look at the design, this is fairly the same as the Apple TV 3rd generation. It does keep the same color as well as the same feel to the product, although this time it is a little bit thicker. It's weird as Apple usually tries to go thinner with all of their products, but with this, they did end up going a tad bit thicker. Now, with that being said, it's not a drastic difference. You'll still be able to fit this wherever you need to, next to your TV or on top of your cable box. The next thing that we have is the Apple TV remote. It has a two-tone color on the front, the bottom being a glossy finish, the top being more of a matte finish on that trackpad. The back of it is a silver with a black Apple logo in the middle. It really does feel nice in the hands. The cool thing about this remote is it actually pairs over Bluetooth rather than sending signals by an IR blaster, so you don't need to be pointing it right at the Apple TV. Next up, inside of this little compartment, we have the power cable for the device itself. Now, as the box is pretty small, it's not going to need all that much power, so you're not going to be dealing with a huge power brick or a 3-prong wall adapter. Next up, right underneath where the Apple TV laid, we have some paperwork. Included with the paperwork are, of course, the traditional Apple stickers, as well as a user manual to help you get started. The final thing that we get inside of the box is this lightning cord that is used to charge the remote. The remote doesn't need to be charged all that often, so if you have an iPhone, consider this an extra charger. Taking a closer look at the device, as you can see, we still get that flat black color with the Apple TV in a glossy finish. We also have a glossy finish around the sides, and if we flip it around to the back, the ports are revealed. We have one port for power, a USB-C port that is featured on the new MacBook Pros, an HDMI port, as well as an Ethernet port. Moving over to the remote, as you can see, this is a fairly big upgrade from the previous Apple TV remote. On the back, I'd like to point out that at the top, we get another microphone to help with the Siri integration. Now, taking a look back at the front, as you can see, we have that trackpad along the top. This will allow you to navigate through the menus of the Apple TV itself. Along the top, we have another microphone giving you a dual microphone setup so that the remote can listen to your voice for Siri. Next up, we have the menu button. This acts as the back button for the remote. We also get a display button that brings you back to the home screen. If you long press this, it'll put the Apple TV to sleep. Next up, we have the Siri button, and you can use this to ask the Apple TV to play certain movies or play certain songs. At the bottom, we have the play pause button, pretty traditional, and then on the right side, we have the volume up and down. Taking a look at the bottom, we get the charging port, and any lightning adapter will do to charge this remote. As I mentioned earlier in the video, this is a bit thicker than the 3rd generation Apple TV. On the right, I have the 3rd generation. On the left, the 4th generation, but again, the thickness really is not that drastic. As far as the price of this product goes, the 32GB version comes in at around $150, while the 64GB version comes in at $200. Moving into the setup of the Apple TV, this is the first screen that you'll be prompted with. In order to start the Apple TV, all you have to do is plug it in and it turns on. Hold the menu and plus button in order to pair your remote, and then you can choose your language. Of course, I'm going to be going with English, but there are plenty of languages to choose from this menu. Next, you get to choose your country or region, and then from there you get to set up your Apple TV. Now, you can do this with your other device, such as an iPad or an iPhone, or you can do it manually. For me, I chose to do it manually. The next screen that you'll be prompted with is the Wi-Fi network screen. From here, choose whatever network you'd like to connect your Apple TV to. Once you've typed in your Wi-Fi password correctly, you'll have to let the Apple TV activate. This could take just a few minutes. After that, you're going to want to enter your Apple ID as well as your password, and then from there, you'll have to enter the verification code if you have two-step authentication enabled. After that, you're pretty much all finished. You're just prompted with a few more screens. The first being about location services. For the most part, I usually always enable this. The next is Siri. You're going to want to enable this as you do want to get the most of your Apple TV. Next up, under the See the World tab, you're going to want to choose Automatically Download, as you're not going to want to keep looking at the same screen saving wallpapers all the time. The next screen is about diagnostics and usage. Again, we have app analytics you can choose to share with app developers or to not share. And then finally, we get the terms and conditions, which obviously you should agree to. And finally, after all of those setup screens, we are into the Apple TV. You can pretty much hit the ground running and start watching movies, download Netflix, use anything that you want, as you already have entered your Apple ID as well as the Wi-Fi network. So that's about it as far as this video goes. If you guys have any questions about the Apple TV, feel free to ask me in the comments section and I'll try to get back to you as fast as possible. I have been using this for a while now, so I do know my way around it pretty good. So again, if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. But anyway, again, this video is coming to an end. Hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here, as I have been trying to upload daily. And I'll talk to you guys later.